What is the latest and greatest on SAM.gov? According to things going on in the current Trump administration, it would make it seem as if SAM.gov is all of a sudden obsolete, that you can't get any contracts on SAM.gov, that now is the time to bow out of government contracting, that there's no space for you, and there's no reason to even try. Well, I'm here to tell you that is not the case. And in case you're new here, my name is Dr. Kizzy Parks, been awarded over 50 million government contracts. Let's get into this. So I recently flew out here to Tulum, Mexico, a couple of my amazing GovCon winners. And hello to all of you joining live and in the replay. Those of you here live, definitely type live. For those of you who are the replay, type replay. And what's up, Rosalind? VR20. So I flew out a couple of my GovCon winners, right? And one of them was telling me that he had a contract and they canceled it because they wanted to procure it through a different method. And I've seen comments like this in the free Facebook group. I've seen comments like this. I'm seeing a lot of trainings coming out, what to do when your contract is canceled. All of these things. Thank you for your participation. But there's a way to prevent all of this, because nothing has changed with SAM.gov. Nothing has changed with business. All that has changed is the requirement of us, the small business owner. To find, bid, and win a contract, it is the same thing that Amazon.gov, that Amazon.com does. You know what that is? I'll tell you. Amazon. I think I got that on Amazon. Oh, this is also available on Amazon, Winner's Way Book, or winnerswaybook.com. They all deliver. Amazon delivers. No matter what you buy, they deliver. If you want to return it and you have a Whole Foods, you can go to a Whole Foods. They have like 8 million ways you can return it. They make things easy. They deliver. They make purchasing easy. They make it easy. That is what your role is as a government contractor and what we're going to see here on SAM.gov. So first and foremost, you do not have to pay for access to SAM.gov. If this is awesome, Yvonne, I'm so glad you got it. If this is something you want to pay for, by all means. I'm just putting out there, I'm going to start offering a paid option that comes with a physical address. Because one of the biggest mistakes, and this is very, very, very important for SAM.gov, especially in today's environment, and that is you must have a physical address. You have to have like a brick and mortar. You got to have a physical address. Doesn't matter if when you signed up on whatever website you paid $29 for a whole year for a virtual address. That's beautiful, but you need a physical address. You need this. If you want to get in government contracting, this is the time, because a lot of people are using the current situations to say, no, I don't want to do this. They're turning their backs on this market. Government contracting is not going away. And why not get into this space now and try instead of just time go by? What I'm going to do during this video is I'm going to share my screen, because I'm streaming directly through YouTube. There may be a time where the screen goes black. I promise I'm here. There's a little bit of a delay. Just be patient. So for context, SAM.gov is the main free website that the federal government uses to procure, I'm going to say it again, to procure products and services. Okay? It is the main site that they use. It is the main site. And I will share it with you here in a second. Okay, driving, be back when I get home, love you. Oh, Ray, that's sweet. Okay, so it's the main site that they use. You can access this site anywhere in the world. Live from Mexico. So I can see it here in Mexico. I'm not using a VPN. If you're in a country that's maybe has a different type of relationship with the States, chances are you might use a VPN. I have my preference for VPN. I like Nord. This is not sponsored by Nord. That's who I like. Do what you need to do, but you do not need any special anything to get on here. Now, you can sign in, but there's no need to sign in. You want to go to contracting. And let me go back here. One of the hot things right now is they're making some changes. So sometimes when you sign in, it doesn't work. Okay. And then you can see they have a video here on how to get a UEI. If any of you have ever watched that video before, let me know if that ever helped. I don't have any idea. Also, Will Nean, I love your comment. I actually won a contract last month, so I'm gonna take a photo. So tell us about that, because I can tell by your tone you're like you were shocked. So tell us more about that, and congratulations to you. This is amazing. Also, during this live, if you have questions, feel free to write the question. If you want your question answered immediately, just click the little $sign to offer support, and then it'll raise up. So I would love to know what you want and how, if at all, my content, paid or free, was of help to you. Okay, let's go back to SAM.gov. So one of the things you'll notice, they have this video on how to get an account. They have these updates. None of that's really changed. It's pretty meh. If you log in, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. What I like to do is go to contracting. And one other new thing for those of you who have won contracts, this little button popped up to do reports, but that only applies if you there's contracts that you need to provide reporting data on. And then here you'll see you can look, if you're looking for federal financial assistance, go to Grants.gov, which we're going to do here in a second, but I want to see if Wilnan, okay, so Wilnan, haven't heard from you. Matt, will you be my partner? Okay, what kind are you? I can be your coach, your paid coach. So let's keep here. So they talked about Grants.gov. And then apparently they're building a simpler Grants.gov. I find it really interesting that they're talking about, can you apply for federal funding? And honestly, this funding, people think, oh, a grant, right? I'm going to get a grant to start my business. I'm going to get a grant to pay my bills. I'm going to get a grant to make my life better. And that's not what a grant is for. These are grants for some type of product or service. If you're looking for a grant for yourself, for your business, then you want to seek elsewhere. But we're going to go back to the grant site because this is off of SAM.gov and is part of what's hot right now. And you can see that they're building. Let's see if it. Okay. They're going to build a new site. They're making all these changes for you. So, and then they're retiring their mobile app. So for those of you who are looking for grants, be aware that they are making changes to the site. I mean, already this looks great. I like that it's a green color. I think this is good. It has some financial information here that you can see. You have U.S. Embassy, trials. So again, the people who, I don't know what's up with them, but they'll say that, oh, you can get a business grant. And you can see these grants are for things. So if this is of interest to you, go to simpler.grants.gov and you can see that they've revamped their grant program. And the reason that we're here is because they have really emphasized on SAM.gov this new and improved grant site. So they're sharing, go here. They have how to publicly edit subcontract reports, to run data management, like if you're searching for specific contracts. This is really important because often I'm asked, Kizzy, what to charge? You may not know what to charge. You may not know what profit to add. By finding out what people charged in the past, you can look for it. At first glance, this is very overwhelming. It is not user-friendly at all. I love SAM.gov, but this page is atrocious. It's ridiculous. Look at, I mean, no, this is too much is going on. I feel like somebody's whole job was to populate this and it could have taken them 8 hours and instead they've been working on this for 7 years. I mean, this is way too much, way too much. All somebody wants to know is, what did they pay last year for porta potties, right? That's all they want to know. And then all of this is overkill. It's a lot going on here. So instead, you want to go to FPDS.gov. So here you can look to see what agencies spent in the past. Oh. Let's see if I get training to come up. Why is nothing? The heck? Well, this doesn't want to work. Huh? You must click here for very important information. Huh? Okay. You can't see. Here, I'll show you what came up. Okay. That's weird. Let's go back here. Okay. Okay. Well, so they provide a link to FPDS, but then they're also sharing with you that these actions have been changed. Whew. I'm glad we're in this together because they truly don't make this easy. It's like that cousin or uncle that's like very confusing and you're like, okay, so you're trying to tell me you went to the store this morning, but for some reason you heard this long story and you're like, what is happening? What is happening? Yeah, that's so weird. Yeah. Well, that's okay. There's other ways to look up opportunities. What's up, Reflections? What's up, Norva? How much do you charge for one-on-one? Normally it's 25,000. So what I suggest that you do is you look into our challenge, you look into our Ultimate Edge course. So let's go back to SAM.gov because this tab is pretty pointless. But we got here because of SAM.gov. They directed us there, right? We're talking about latest and greatest with SAM.gov. So it's really cool that, and it's interesting to know, there's a lot of things on SAM.gov and a lot of them are distracting. So what you want to do, SAM.gov, contracting, advanced search, boom. This is where you want to go. Okay, SAM.gov. Set aside, total small business, boom. Okay, what number do you see here? What number is highlighted? Oops, here you guys see. What number is highlighted? Rick, you're right, you did hear me. It's $25,000 for 1 hour. So what number do you see highlighted in the gray? There might be a little bit of a delay. It's the one in the gray. It's 10,670. Thank you, Rodolph. Thank you. I know there's a little delay. 10,670. That's how many small business. You're not bad at this. There's a lot going on the screen. That's how many small business kind of transactions are going on. So there's some that'll say, oh, there's 10,000 opportunities. That's incorrect. Okay, that's incorrect. Norva, that's okay. You just need a guide. That's it. Donnell, what's up? I'm glad you're here. Yeah, Will Neem didn't say anything. I want to know what kind of contract Will Neem won. Okay. So what you want to do is you select small business set aside, notice type, consolidate and solicitation and combined. Consolidate, solicitation combined. Then what we're going to do, we're going to do dates. We're going to do the next 3 months, okay? Next 3 months. So the number now has gone down from 10,000 to 2,500. Okay, Norva, here, send me an email. I'll connect you with my team. You'll be able to speak to my team. We'll be able to help you. And Larry, definitely need an hour of your knowledge and insight. Love it. Just send me an email, connect you with my team. So in the grand scheme of things, okay, I want you to really hone in on this. Think about where you live. Like, I live here in Tulum, Mexico. I'm going to look up how many people live in Tulum, Mexico population. Looking it up. Okay. Well, according to World Population Review, congratulations on getting your cage code. Tulum's 2025 population is now estimated at 20. Okay, hold on. 26,500 people. So I live in a fairly small town, right? In comparison, Mexico City, which I believe is one of the top 10 most populated cities, has over 22 million people. So think about where you live. Where you live probably has anywhere from 72,000 to maybe a million people. There are 2,500 opportunities. I once lived in Allendale, Illinois. There were fewer than 500 people, and I was the only Black person who lived there besides my dad. So 2,500 opportunities is a lot. That's, I mean, the town that I live in has 26,000 people. You know, there you may get 2,500 likes on a post that you posted for Mother's Day or 4th of July or Thanksgiving or congratulations, you're pregnant. You know what I mean? Like, it's really not that many people. But at the same time, it is a lot. So let me explain. We're often taught to see things as limited. Oh, government contracting, that ain't for us, that's for them. You have to have a schedule, have a set aside, served in the military, worked in the government, that's for them. Instead of, there are 2,590 opportunities available in the next 3 months at the time of this recording. That is amazing. All you need to do is win one. So you're telling me you can't win one? Do you think you're going to win that Powerball? You might. I hope you do. You're going to win that scratch off, that 25 mil like the dude won in Florida recently? I hope you do. You might. Chances are you're not. And the only reason I say that is because the statistics. The statistics, when you have a scratch off and you flip it over, it'll tell you, or you go to the website. So why put your odds in Lotto or something else when 2,590 opportunities are available, and all you need is a cage code and a physical address? That's it. Doesn't, matter who's president. Doesn't matter what Elon Musk is doing. Elon Musk gonna live his life, have a bunch of babies, live his life. Elon gonna be 80 having babies. Gonna be like, finally got 60 kids. Like, Elon, no, worry about your life. And this is the opportunity to free you. So here, let's go into it. So what I like to do, and when you're signed in, you can download these typically. I like to just scroll. You know, people doom scroll, people use scrolling. I mean, listen, I've been on YouTube. I've learned more about Mormons on YouTube than anything. So I get it. So I'll take a look, change this to 100. A lot of this stuff is like, okay, it's like social media. If you want to change your life, you have to make changes. And listen, I understand. Like, I have been very resistant to use my camera, which is so weird, right? As a content creator, silver play button because of you guys. It's right here. But I've been scared because it's a newer camera. I'm just ridiculous. So I was like, Kizzy, if you want to change, you got to change. So I set my camera up. I was so excited. And then the HDMI cord doesn't work. And that's okay. I'm going to get an HDMI cord. I'll find one here at the things called iShop and keep it moving. So it doesn't matter if you signed up to get into government contracting a year ago or you just got a cage code. They're still buying. How do you pay your subcontractors? Rodolfo, Usually we pay them through Bill or PayPal. That's how we pay them. We pay them typically at the end of the gig. So I see overhead top shelving kits, roving fire watch. Okay, this one I think is good because it's due on my birthday. Let's take a look at this. And I interviewed an amazing woman whose first win was catering. So this is the Maryland Guard. Firm fixed price, small business set aside, and they want catering the 5th of June to the 19th of June. So they want most advantageous. Okay. So to win something like this, you can definitely go to proposal.wins.com to see examples of winning proposals. But I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to show you right now how to win this. Okay. First and foremost. Okay. So what I just did, just give me a second, and I'll share this with you. Is I went into ChatGPT and I asked for catering services in and around Walker Drive, Fort Walker, Virginia. Okay. Where are you guys here? Okay. Okay, great. So I'm going to start sharing this. Okay, we are sharing it, I believe. Okay, terrific. So you can see. There we go. Okay. So I asked for a list of catering companies. You see people with awards or medals. Maybe they did a race or they won something. You see pictures of food. And you see the list of companies. Fort Walker, Essence of Eating, Route 36, Classic Caterers, and Rent a Chef. And I misspelled it. I just put list of catering companies in Walker Drive, Fort Walker, Virginia. I didn't even use a sexy, beautiful prompt. Why? Because that's not life. Okay? That's not life. So that's step number one, because we are looking at an opportunity due 22nd May, my birthday, for catering, most advantageous. And when it comes to catering, no different than when you at the restaurant, they want to see pictures. Show them pictures of the food. Show them a menu. Give them options. All you have to do is identify a caterer, give them thank you for the early birthday wishes, identify what they're looking for. Keep in mind, thank you so much for emailing me. Keep in mind it's May 5th through the 19th. June 5th through the 19th. And that you're going to need to identify who can do it, talk to them about how you're going to work out the money, because somebody's got to buy this food. Now, the catering company, they may hypothetically say, okay, Larry Turner, you know what? I'll take care of it and you can invoice me when you get paid. Who knows? They may say, no, I need some money down. Doesn't matter. What matters is if you want a quick win, if you're over here saying, I want to do this, I want to get past performance, I want to win a contract, I want to take advantage of the new things on SAM.gov, now is the time. All we have is time. You know, I was listening to Alex Hormozy, and I want to best capture what I heard. I love Alex Hormozy, by the way. And he was talking about, I guess he's got like a bodyguard now. Anyways, he was talking about his bodyguard, and it seems like his bodyguard served in the military. And he asked him, like, what did he take away from being in these environments of basically never knowing when somebody could be unalived? Like, just having that ongoing. He didn't really go much into the background of the bodyguard, but the bodyguard had experienced many casualties in his life. And the bodyguard said to him that there were guys that would talk about retiring, they're going to go home, finish the basement, or go home or start a business. And then he's like, and then they're unalived the next day. And I know it's a very kind of seems like an over the top kind of example, but it really resonated with me. If it resonates with you, you know, type yes. And when I heard that this morning, I was like, dang, he's right. Because what Alex Hormozy said was, you can have all of the plans, you can have your perfectly planned thing and contingency plans. He's like, but you never know what's going to happen. He's like, this is all we got. This is it. And I thought, wow, that's really, he's right. And the same thing goes for this. If you want to get into government contracting, you want to take this step, now is the time to do it. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? We may not have tomorrow. So these are things to keep in mind. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about these kind of topics, but this is reality. Plus, the government buys funeral services. So don't forget that, okay? The government buys funeral services and they buy pews. Okay, so for this, I'm going to go back to SAM.gov. So just in the span of this live video, Maryland Guard, June annual training catering meals at Fort Walker. So some of you, maybe you have a friend or family member who is in catering. Here's also something that's really important to notice. Do you all see this? If you see this, type yes. The offer is required to have a current and active registration in SAM, not a pending, as well as no exclusions. This is key. That's why you must have a physical address. And this is something I'm going to start offering very soon, to get a physical address for less than $2 a day for a whole year. So you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to show you all the solicitation in just one moment. So what I'm doing before I share this with you is I'm uploading the solicitation. Here, I'll share this tab into ChatGPT. Okay. Now I want you to see something. Didn't use a sexy prompt, didn't have to cut and paste, didn't have to go to a book. Would you like both? Both. I do pay for this. I'm sure that you can do something similar for free. but I know that many of you are very curious about AI or you use AI in your day-to-day. I do too. I use it a lot. There also may be a little bit of a delay because I'm sharing screens, I'm going live, so just be aware of that. It's probably much faster on your end. So as that's loading, I'm going to go to the Q&A. Happy Mother's Day to everybody here. How do you, okay, Marcus wants to know, how do you let the contractor officer know you'll be using a subcontractor? Marcus, do you have to let them know this? No, that's what's beautiful. You don't have to let them know. You can. So what you can do, so let's take this opportunity, right? So in this opportunity for catering, so this is what I would do. I would say KPC is my government contracting company. KPC, we've been in business since 2008. We've provided a variety of professional services and products to the federal government, including Army and Air National Guard. We are partnering with XYZ Catering to provide the required meals for 5 through 19 June 2025. XYZ Catering has been awarded blank, or they have blank certification. They are known for blank, 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 and we will work in tangent to provide the meals and meal schedule per the requirements. Our project manager, you can put their name, blank, 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 will serve as the main point of contact for everyone involved. So you got to do. Because at the end of the day, you have the contract. And Marcus, this is a beautiful question too. Please, I don't want anyone to think I'm trying to poke you in the eye. This is a beautiful question. Think of it like Amazon. I bought this at Amazon. Amazon delivers. I don't know if these people work for Amazon. Chances are they don't. Okay, chances are they don't. Also, y'all, I'm preparing for my competition. So I'm kind of bulking up. I'm doing the wellness category in November and December. So get ready. Get ready. Okay, so they're still going through the document, and I'll share it when we have that. It's probably a little slower because I'm streaming. Keep that in mind. As far as any kind of service agreement or anything like that, Marcus, we usually handle that on the back end. What I am very focused in on is winning, winning, winning. Then I'll take care of a lot of it. How would you pay for the food? Harlan, a credit card, a loan, ask them, hey, is there any way you could pay for the food? And maybe you offer them a little bit more. Okay, you pay for the food, and so you've quoted me $10,000. I'll give you $10,500 if you're able to make the investment in the food, and I'll pay you within 30 days of getting paid from the federal government. Here is something very important to keep in mind. After you deliver the work, you have to send the government an invoice. I want you to type invoice. You must send the government an invoice. Please type invoice. They're not just going to pay you. You're not just going to wake up and be like, oh, I got some money. This is not that. This isn't one of those, y'all know those law commercials. I just settled. No, this is not it. Type invoice, type invoice, type invoice, type invoice. This is how you get paid. And when it comes to the National Guard, you will use the PI system. So you're going to need to get registered in the PI system. You're going to need to create an invoice. Yeah, you may be like, I don't know how to do any of that. When I first did it, it was a freaking Word document, y'all, and it looked like crap. Who cares? We all start somewhere. But you start and you keep going. You don't start the race and say, nah, I ain't going to finish that finish line. I'm just going to run part of the curve. There's this beautiful track in Miami Beach. I have a place in Miami Beach by Poppy Steak. And there's this beautiful track over there by Flamingo Park. At one point, I had hired 2 different run coaches because I don't play with coaching. I'm not that person trying to sell you something and I ain't never had a coach. Oh, I got lots of coaches. Fitness coach, YouTube coach. Shoot, don't play with me. So, spiritual advisor, Reiki coach, everything. So, man, I got so many memories of running that dang track. And when you run, that's long. Like a whole lap is like, it's like life changing. I'm like, dang, because I'm not a long distance runner. This is not the body of a long distance runner, y'all. This is the body of a bodybuilder. That's my genetics, the Garzaloni clan. So all the times I ran, no matter what I weighed or what was going on in my life or who was out there, sometimes there were like Olympians training. It was very interesting space out there. Sometimes there would be these boxers out there training. It was, and then people playing soccer. It's just a whole vibe over there if you ever go there. And never did I get on the track and start going. It was like, nah, I'm just going to leave. I'm not saying I didn't think about it, but it was never, I'm just going to not do it. And that's what this is about. Okay. Write your, if it's on wide area workflow, WAF, you can use Pi. Jay Taylor, we just found them. Here, I'll share it with you guys. So same applies to government contracting. I feel like this is it's still loading. So I'm scrolling up, and all I did is I went into ChatGPT 4.0, list of catering complete with a spelling error, and look what it gave me. I have 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then they even gave pictures. And then I put the attachment up here to get more information, but I think it's taking some time because I'm sharing screens, I'm going live, all of that. So for you, it'll be way, way faster. So while it's doing that, let me go through the Kizzy way of doing this, because I have been in this space since 07, 08. So going through this is really fast. And I get it. When I watch like my trainer, Brittany Carbone, she's so disciplined. She knows how much meat weighs, like how many grams things are. And I'm over here like, I don't know about any of that. So I get it. Okay. I get it. Wow. I was breaking out of that singing, huh? Okay. You guys, can never tell I took one. Okay, there we go. You know what I noticed? Did y'all notice the delay's not so bad? Look at this upgrade. I like it. Okay, let's keep it moving. So number 1, you're going to have to fill this out. 17 alpha, cage code, business name, first name, physical address, phone number. You're also going to fill out 30 alpha Bravo Charlie. Do not fill out 30 alpha until you've done everything they've asked for, okay? So then they're letting you know they need 411 meals. Catered breakfast, catered dinner. Breakfast, dinner. I don't see lunch, okay? Breakfast, dinner. Also, if this is of interest to you, right now is the time to go into SAM.gov and update your cage code to 311-999. 311-999. Should you just have a verbal agreement? Yeah, Harlan, because there's going to be other caterers you can use. Yeah. Now, it looks like the location is actually in, well, I'm not sure because this is the period service performance site. It looks like it's actually in Baltimore. So that may change the vendors that we choose. But remember, if we go over here, I'll go check in on it. It's still ChatGPT is still doing its thing. So let me go back to the PDF. I'm showing you both because I want you to know that yes, ChatGPT, any AI is great, and it's like a self-driving car. I saw a woman in a self-driving car and she had a teacup in her saucer. I do love some tea. That's beautiful, but I mean, I need to be able to drive or be driven. I mean, I'm driven all the time when I'm in Michigan, so for the most part. So, okay, Giovanni, a virtual address won't work. You need a physical address. So let's go through it. It's like a virtual self-driving car. You still need to know how to drive. So they're also sharing with you how you will be paid. Wide area workflow. So if you're not in wide area workflow, like you're not in the PI system, now's the time to get in there. Okay, what you see here, I kind of compare it to the instructions. I'm not the person who reads instructions. I'm just letting you know. A lot of this is cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste. It's catering. Like you're not trying to sell a nuclear proof system. It's catering at the end of the day. They're letting you know right here, award resulting most advantageous, which they said earlier on SAM.gov. Okay, most advantageous. And so far, it looks like they want breakfast and dinner. Okay, so one thing that's interesting is that they don't want forced or indentured child labor. Okay, that's different. And it seems like what you may be prepared to do is to download your reps and certs from SAM, which is really easy. We cover it in our Ultimate Edge coaching. Okay. So from this document right here, here's what's important. One, you're going to need to fill out the sections I mentioned. Two, you're going to need to be able to provide breakfast and dinner to 411 military members. But it looks like you can see the dates. Breakfast 6 to 19, dinner 5 to 18. Okay, so that's what we have so far. I'm going to go back to ChatGPT. Okay. Now, let me share with you what ChatGPT came up with. ChatGPT came up with summary of solicitation. Now, if you want, you see here, you can download it. You can share a link. They got all of that. They have all these options, okay? Lots of options. There's also a button usually at the very bottom right here. You can copy it. So let's just see what they have. So the training at Fort Walker, formerly Fort AP Hill, 411 meals, breakfast 6 through 19, dinner 5 through 18, check. Okay. Must be delivered at Fort Walker during the specified dates. Okay. It seems pretty vague on the where so far. And then they mention the performance work statement, okay, which we haven't opened yet. Next, they're letting you know that you need to complete the standard form 1449. That's the one we talked about. They said it's a simplified acquisition, meaning basically they're going to look at what makes the most sense to them. Price, menu. You don't have to fill out a ton of information. Okay, they're saying that Corey is the main point of contact. Proposals are due May 22nd at 2. Looks like it might be Eastern time. Another pro tip is you want to make sure that you check the what? No, it's still there. It shows it for me. I don't know. Another pro tip is you want to check the time zones. Okay, so make sure you check the time zones. Also, for the reps inserts, what I probably would do is send them an email and see if you could just give them a copy of your reps inserts opposed to the ones that they gave. Yeah, that happens with the sharing on Alexa. Stop. On YouTube, it'll go black for a second. Okay, don't freak out. Giovanni, you got to use your physical address and office, something like that. Okay, good. Thank you all for letting me know. You guys always got me. That's right, Moyo. That's why we're offering a physical address for less than $2 a day, because it's a problem that keeps coming up. 411 is the number of meals. It looks like every day. But you may want to clarify that. Is it 411 meals for the entire period? Is it 411 meals a day? I don't know. So the next pro tip is you want to email and or call the point of contact to ask these kind of questions, right? So I'm going to pull up the other document in a second. Just give me a moment. Okay. And then Harlan, I'm jumping ahead, but let's say we get the bid as the prime. Whoop, whoop. Could you speak on best protocols for managing? Well, set expectations, number one. Hey, JoJo Catering, I anticipate that for this, you will. What I would do if this is like your very first one, I would take the money. Thank you, Timothy, for being here. I would take any money that you have and fly there to be there. I would do that because chances are they're going to want more catering from you. Ashley won, who's one of my success coaches. They wanted more catering from her. The woman I recently interviewed, Q, they wanted more catering from her. If you can't be there for whatever reason, expectations, you're going to arrive at XYZ location. You can't have anyone going on the military location who has a felony or smoking weed or smelling like weed. You can't bring firearms. You're going to make sure that they follow the requirements to get on base. You're going to need that they make sure they follow the requirements. I'd ask them to send pictures. I would ask them to, you would want to have a kickoff call with them, a check-in call the days of, daily check-in calls with them to see if there's any things that need to be changed on the spot, have a debrief call with them and a debrief call with the agency. The real Don, I didn't see anything that said it needs to be, you have to be hub zoned. Okay. So we're going to go back to ChatGPT, back to SAM. We're going to close this one out. what I did is I clicked on the PDF. So I'm opening PDF in another screen. It might turn black for a second. It's just part of how things operate using the streaming for now. Okay, let's see. There we go. Yes, luxury card store. Yeah, I would register in Pi ahead of time. Okay, so you definitely know it's the Guard when you see this. Maryland Army National Guard. Maryland. Okay. Maryland. I don't know if y'all got those references. Anyways, anticipates purchasing catered meals. All catered meals shall be ready to pick up in proper containers. So already it's not that they want a la carte, like I'm at a buffet at an event. They want them to be ready to grab. Safe temperatures in accordance with their food code. You may want to call them and ask what's considered a safe temperature. Also, you're going to need to include utensils in your pricing. The meals have to be delivered to Fort Walker, Virginia. So it looks like, so we had that beautiful question that number is in total, but you see how many they need. 8 dinner, 38, 36, 38. So now you see, and they tell you. If you don't know military time, please make sure you know military time. Okay? So it's breakfast is 6 a.m. That means they don't arrive at 6. They need to be there at probably 5:20. And then dinner's at 7. Okay, let me make sure y'all are good over here. Okay. How do you determine the profit? Daniel, I usually go anywhere from 5 to 30. It's up to what makes sense to you. I like making at least 1,000 or more on opportunities, but that's how I look at it. What ends up happening is somebody will take something like this and be like, I'm gonna put $10,000. Okay, if that's how you roll, then I'm gonna sell you this beautiful stopwatch. You can do all kinds of things with it. Keep track of time, press the buttons, makes a beautiful decor item too. It's very colorful. I will sell this to you for $500 US. Y'all are gonna be like, what are you doing? Nobody is paying $500 for this. Now, if this is an Hermes, or maybe Rihanna touched it, or Beyonce and her daughter were like photographed with it, potentially. So then you have to ask yourself, what is your goal? Because when people think, oh, I'm going to add $10,000 to catering, nobody's going to pay that. Would you pay triple for catering? If that's the case, then shoo, I want to cater your event. So you have to be okay with making $1,000. On average, people who do side hustles make anywhere from $500 to $900 a month. So that's an amazing amount of money. Okay, so you got to have the containers, the food code, and you can also upload this into ChatGPT, right? So you have all of this information there. You also have to provide the condiments. Okay, shall follow the menu specified to provide meals offering variety and contrast in texture, flavor, and color. Entree, starch, vegetable, bread, dessert, salad, and beverages. Okay, and then there's a standard here. So here's what's important. This is what you don't do. Hey, XYZ Catering, I'm looking to bid on this. Here you go. Let me know your price. You're going to need to be able to understand what they need. It's very evident that this guard is being very specific. They're saying, here are the meals that we want. We want it to vary in color and texture. We want these specific things. Please follow our requirement. They are not looking for you to provide a nasty granola bar and some fourth grade milk and some OJ and some gross coffee and call it breakfast. They're not looking for you to provide some nasty little dish, some gross meat, and some stale bread and call that dinner. If that's how you want to operate, do not bid, do not go forward, and do not be an entrepreneur. If you understand what I'm saying, type yes. Instead, you're going to want to take a look at these attachments. Use ChatGPT to condense the requirements. Now, they also have this in compliance, which your sub would do. And they said estimates within a 60-mile radius. It says estimates. It doesn't have to be. It also says that they have the right to conduct a site visit, which is good because you're talking about food. This is an easy win. Thank you for your interaction live and on the replay. We're dealing with food. So this isn't like, oh, you're just delivering some office supplies. We're talking food. So you also may want to look up on Yelp, on Google reviews. How many stars do these catering companies have? Maybe there's a website you can go to see, do they have any kind of infractions for food safety violations? They're already telling you, no drugs. You got to look the part. Don't come in there looking all crazy and busted and smelling like weed. And then they're also giving you a meal plan. And you may want to double check, is this exactly what you want? Is this the food that you want us to provide? It looks very reasonable. Baked chicken, broccoli, scalloped potatoes. They don't want no dry chicken. They don't want no nasty broccoli. And you better make some tasty scalloped potatoes. Fresh fruit. Don't give them a bunch of grapes and melon. Not in a retirement home. Salad bar. I don't, but this is all very reasonable. Any reputable catering company can provide this. Mexican corn. They got a little Mexican night, enchiladas. Look at them. They got a little Spanish night at the end. You may even see if you can add in a little guacamole. Who knows? That may be a little too spicy for them. I mean, not guacamole is not spicy, but just add a little fat into this meal because there ain't no fat really in there except for the cheese and the enchilada, I guess. But you get the point. And the point is, this is something you can easily bid on. SAM.gov, there are over 2,000 opportunities due in 3 months. Using ChatGPT, using yours truly with the pop and curls, we went over what's needed to actually win this work. And SAB 6, I'm there with you. I have a challenge. You can email me. We have one coming up. I offer coaching. I can connect you with my team. Just send me an email. So for this, no set aside is needed except for what you have. Just a small business set aside. That's the only thing that's needed, is a small business set aside. That's it. That's it. There's no reason you can't win this if this is of interest to you. There's still over 2,000. There's still over 2,000. No matter where you are in this space, if you want it bad enough, you will make it work. Okay, y'all? So I love and adore you. Email me if I can be of any help. Check out winnerswaybook.com if you want to know how to write a proposal, proposal.wins.com, proposal.wins.com. I got a free download for you at profitablecontracts.co, profitablecontracts.co. I'm going to have an AI offering soon, a physical address for y'all. We're coming up on the fourth quarter, so we have a lot that's going on. Now is the time. Now is the time. Okay, I love and adore y'all. I gotta get ready for bed. Jay Taylor, yes. Would this also apply to janitorial? Yes. Training, janitorial, HVAC, fire alarm, inspection, elevator repair. You know, here, I don't want to show the first one. I don't want YouTube to get mad at me. So now this is old, but still. So I got this in the mail. So I got this in the mail. I have an FFL. So they've basically said, listen, I can be your supplier. We are your go-to. Reach out to us. It doesn't matter what you offer. There's somebody there to provide it for you. That's how it works. We're in quarter 3. Quarter 4 starts July. So I just want you to know that. There may be work that you do. When I first started out, when I provided a bunch of diversity and inclusion training, I did a lot of it. It wasn't always the best because I was learning and, you know, it's part of life. But it's how it works. How do I find courier service jobs? Keep it real. A lot, state and local and federal, okay? Okay, I adore you all. I'm going to head out. You had trouble getting quotes. Well, a lot of it is what's being said, how they're being approached. So I do have a paid Facebook group where that's definitely a topic to cover and we can help you with that. So send me an email. Okay. So it's $9.97. I'm just letting you know. I'm here to help you achieve the goals that you have and you desire. I have probably now over 800 free videos. So when it comes to getting quotes, is not giving up. It's meeting them where they are, and it's maybe using other vendors. Okay, everyone, we got to go. I got to get it together. I got to work out in the morning. I love and adore you guys. Take care until next time. Everything is possible, y'all. Take care. Bid on this. I want one of you to bid on this. There's no reason you can't win. Take care, y'all. Everything is possible. Bye.